Visitors are the lifeblood of BNI, and BNI Net 2 offers a variety of tools to help manage and analyze visitors in your region. Let's start by looking at how a visitor can apply to visit a BNI chapter. A visitor coming to the BNI website can click on the Join link. This will bring them to a visitor application form. Now on this form, the first thing they can do is choose the chapter they'd like to visit. If they know the person that has invited them to visit the chapter, they can enter that from a list of members of that chapter. And they can also indicate their level of interest in BNI and in joining this chapter if they wish to do so. They must read and acknowledge reading the privacy policy for this region. Now the privacy policy is different in different regions around the world. They must read the policy and tick this box before continuing, and there is an opportunity to ask a question or add a comment to the email that will be sent. Having done that and clicked on Save, the application form to visit the chapter has been sent. The email that's sent to the chapter leadership team states the information about the person, and they are invited to reply to that email in order to arrange that person to visit the chapter. If there was a sponsor, then an email is also sent to the sponsor notifying them that a person who they have invited to join BNI or to visit a chapter has arranged to visit the chapter. Visitors to a chapter can also be entered directly into the database by members of the leadership team for that chapter. Under the leadership team options, you'll find an option called Visitors. Under Visitors, there will be a list of all the existing visitors to the chapter. Any visitors who have used the application form to apply to visit the chapter will also be listed. To add a new visitor, simply click on Add Visitor. The name of the visitor is entered. Now the system will automatically check the database for any other visitors with that name to see if this is a person who's visited another chapter in the region, and if it is that same person who's visited a different chapter, then by clicking on the name you can say this person has now also visited our chapter. But let's assume in this case that it's a new person. Now we can fill in the rest of the information about this person, including the person who invited them to visit the chapter and their level of interest if you know what that is. Now I should note that all information about a visitor should be entered from a signed visitor sheet. These should be printed out and made available in the meetings. The visitor information sheet includes the privacy policy for the region, which must be read and signed by the visitor. Once the information has been entered and the date specified for that person, the visitor has been added into the system. At this stage, if the person has been discussed by the leadership team or the membership committee and approved as a potential member of the chapter, an application form can be sent to them. At any stage, a member of the leadership team can contact a visitor to the chapter simply by clicking on the email button that's next to that person's name on the visitor list. Now let's look at the administrative functions within BNI Net 2 for managing visitors in your region. From the People menu, click on Visitors. This is a finder to let you find visitors in your region. You can simply search for all visitors over a given time period, or you can narrow your search using first name, last name, company, profession, and region fields. The color coding in the visitor list is very simple. Blue are visitors, red are visitors who have been converted to a prospective member, a prospect within the system, and green are visitors who have actually already joined BNI after visiting a chapter. To convert a visitor into a prospective member, simply click on the person's name. This will bring up the details of that visitor, and click on Convert to Prospect. This will convert the visitor into a prospective member who can then be upgraded into a full membership once the application form has been received. To contact visitors, click on Communication and click on BMail, then Visitors. This will bring up the BMail tools for contacting visitors. Now the simplest thing to do is to specify visitors within a given date range, and if you'd like to exclude visitors who you have previously emailed, that can be done here. Clicking on Email brings up an email page where I can write an email which will be sent to all of these people.